Hey guys, Dr. Chad here. Today's follow along workout is 8 minutes of super hardcore abs. It is very intense, but I promise you it will get you the results that you're looking for. If you need breaks, feel free to take them. Otherwise, we're gonna keep plugging through. I'll see you on the other side. Alright guys, today's video comes with instructions on how to perform each exercise with good form. If you'd prefer the same workout with no instructions, go ahead and click the link on your screen to be taken to that video. Otherwise, we're going to keep plugging here. This first exercise is called flutter kicks, which is where you lay on your back and flutter your legs up and down, as so. You can have two different variations, one with your head up, like I am, and a chest up. That gives you a little bit more contraction in your abdominal area. Otherwise, you can relax your head and upper chest and just focus on your lower abs. Alright, this next exercise is a left oblique crunch where you bring your knees to the right and do a standard crunch. For this exercise, fight the temptation to collapse your chin by keeping your head up and focus on the contraction toward the ceiling. These oblique crunches are so important for giving you a well-rounded, stable core rather than just working your rectus abdominis, which is the group of muscles in the middle of your abdomen. Alright, same thing other side. Bring your knees to the left and do a standard crunch up. Again, focus on keeping your chin off your chest as much as possible and bring your chest up toward the ceiling. These and any other exercises are made so much more effective if you focus on the muscle groups you're attempting to contract. So focus on the obliques and shortening the length between your rib cage and your hip. Alright, this next exercise is the seated reverse crunch where you sit on your butt and bring your knees in and out from your chest. The further you lean back, the harder this exercise will be. Just be careful not to put too much strain on your lower back. A modification to this exercise to make it a little bit easier is to touch your heels at the top and bottom of each movement. Next up, we have clockwise leg circles, which is where you lay on your back and do small circles with straight legs, keeping your heels off the ground. A potential modification for this to make it a little bit easier is to keep one heel on the ground while you do a circle with the other leg, and then alternate back and forth. Try to avoid putting too much pressure on your lower back during this exercise by pressing your lower back into the ground as much as you can. And we'll grow in number. Alright, switch directions and do counterclockwise leg circles. Again, being conscious to protect the lower back from hyperextension by pressing it into the ground. Keep going, you've only got a few seconds left. I know this is a really tough exercise, one of the toughest in the workout. And release. Next up, we have the C hold, which is where you go in a seated position and lean back as far as you can before your feet come up off the floor. Holding this in a static position is excellent for working different fibers in your abdominal area that you don't typically work when you're moving back and forth. The further you lean back, the harder this exercise becomes. Just be conscious that you're not putting too much strain on your lower back. And release. Next up, we have the same position except moving side to side, reaching your arm back as far as you can behind you. You can make this exercise easier by leaning further forward or harder by leaning further back. You can make it even harder yet by picking your heels up off the ground if you want to add extra static tension on your lower abs. Next up, we have straight leg V crunch with your arms overhead and straight legs come up onto your butt into the shape of a V. This one can be a bit challenging to get the coordination down on, but stick with it because it does work your upper, middle, and lower abs. We next have the left oblique V crunch, which is where you go on your right side with your left hand behind your head and straight legs bring your elbow to your thighs. For this one, focus on creating a 150-degree angle between your head and your toes in a V shape on your side. To be completely honest, watching this back now, I'm realizing that I'm cheating a little bit by not dropping my right shoulder as far down to the ground as I should be and getting a full contraction. See, we all have room for improvement. Okay, same thing other side. I've got to congratulate you if you are still pushing through and working out here with me. I know this is tough with a lot of difficult exercises, but we've only got a few left, so keep going. Next up are your scissor kicks, where you lay on your back and scissor your straight legs back and forth. Again, keeping your head and chest up can help contract your upper abs, but that can cause some fatigue on your neck, so feel free to bring your head down as necessary. Next up, we have straight leg raise, which is where you're on your back, lifting straight legs up to about 45 degrees and back down. Partway through this exercise, I show a modification where you can rest your heels down at the bottom of each movement if your hip flexors are feeling fatigued, because mine were absolutely killing me. Don't be surprised if your hip flexors are also feeling very fatigued. We have done a lot of lower abdominal exercises because of how often neglected they are. Next up are toe reaches, where you bring your legs up and try to reach your hands toward your toes. This is another exercise that can light your hip flexors on fire because it is also working your lower abs significantly, which again is just so important. Many people neglect that part in their other workouts. By focusing on it here, you're sculpting and shaping, tightening up that part of your abdomen and burning the fat that so many of us have there. Next up is hollow body knee raises, where you lay on your back and bring your chest and shoulders up as high as you can while bringing each alternate knee up, straightening the other leg. This hollow body position keeps your entire abdominal area engaged by keeping your head and chest up and contracting your upper abs. Again, you can modify this exercise by resting your heel of the straight leg on the ground with each movement. And finally, we have the rocking plank, which is where you go on your elbows in plank position and rock back and forth, keeping your abs completely engaged throughout the entirety of the movement and rocking back and forth on your toes. You can make this exercise somewhat easier by doing the plank on your hands with straight arms rather than on your elbows. Stay strong. This is the last exercise and you've only got 8 seconds left. Solid work on those exercises today, guys. Giving it everything you've got and doing this workout frequently, as much as every other day, is what's really going to give you the results that you're looking for. So keep up the good work, and I'll see you in the next video.